The reality of interviewing is that most of the time, there are several very good, qualified, hireable candidates for any given position. And hiring managers, sometimes they end up defaulting to who is going to be the best fit for our organization, who's going to be a culture fit, who's in value alignment, who's going to be a good teammate. But rarely do candidates actually prepare to come off as good value fits and culture fits in the interview process. It's no different with Sephora. In today's video, I'm going to give you some techniques on how to align yourself as a great culturals and value alignment fit for Sephora so you can increase the likelihood that you get the job. Let's go. Now, doing this comes down to two main things. First, you have to know what their values actually are, right? And Sephora calls them commitments. So what are their 3 commitments? You need to know what these are. And then secondarily, you need to show how you can demonstrate that you are a values fit. You know what they are. How do you show them that you are a good values fit and you are in good value alignment and their commitments resonate with you? Now, the first commitment is diversity, equity, inclusion. Now, you can go to their website and read more into what that means to them, but that is their first one. Their second commitment is sustainability. Again, you can go to their website and read a little bit further on exactly what that means to them, but their second one is sustainability. And lastly, their third one is community giving and engagement. So giving back to the communities they exist within. These are the 3 commitments. They are great ones. Now you know what these are. So how do you go about showing that you are in alignment with them in your interview so you position yourself as the ideal candidate? Now, the first way, I'm going to give you 4 different ways. The first way is a pretty easy one. At some point in your interview, they're going to ask you, why do you want to work at Sephora? And this is a great opportunity to use one of their commitments as a motivator for you to pursue the opportunity. So whenever you're asked, why do you want to work here? You want to use the 50-50 rule. And that basically means the first 50% of your answer needs to be about the company. Why is the company attractive to you? Why do you want to pursue it just based on the company? And the second 50% is, why is the role a great fit for you? Why are you interested in the role? So when they ask you, why do you want to work at Sephora, and you want to make it value related, it's going to sound something like this. Well, there are a lot of reasons that I'd be interested in working at Sephora, but when I was doing my research for this, I learned about your commitment to community engagement and giving, and I found that to be incredibly inspiring. I'm a type of person that I've done volunteering throughout my entire life. It's really important to me and my family. So to align myself with an organization like this, that would be amazing. Additionally, I feel like this role would be a really good fit for me because I have great customer service experience and I'm passionate about skincare and makeup. That is an easy way to answer that question that's going to make you sound like a great candidate, but also align you with their commitments and their values. Now, the next thing I would try to do in my interview with Sephora is if there is an opportunity to bring up the fact that you've done volunteering in the past. If you have, don't make it up if you haven't, because they might ask you and probe further, and if you don't have an answer, that's going to be bad. But if there's an opportunity to bring up how you have done some sort of community involvement or engagement or donating time or something like that, I would certainly bring it up. So this could come in a few times. You know, they might ask you, hey, tell me about yourself. And in that, you know, you can talk about your career, your interests, and that you've done volunteering, right? And you can drop that in there. Or if they say, hey, what is your proudest achievement? Maybe that is related to the community service you've done. Maybe you've been a part of something big, and that could be something that you're really proud of, and that could be a really good time to name drop that in there. And if you do that, you're going to really use those opportunities to demonstrate that you are a great fit because, like them, you really care about community giving and just giving back to the community you exist within. Now, the third way that I want to mention is you can say to them, hey, tell me, what is it you love about this company? That's a great question. So you want to ask questions at the very end of your interview, and that's a really good one because it's going to do a few things. One, it's going to give you great information to send a thank you email, because whenever you send a thank you email, it's important to reference something they said because it makes it more personal, it makes it more effective. But also, a lot of times when you ask someone this, a lot of times they're going to talk about what it's like working there, right? So they might bring up their values. They might bring up their commitments. And if they bring up their commitments, it's an easy opportunity for you to demonstrate that that also matters to you. So if you ask someone at Sephora, hey, why do you like working here? And they go, you know, one of the things that's really important to me is diversity, equity, inclusion. And throughout my time at Sephora, I've seen them demonstrate that consistently. And that's really inspiring to me. So if they say something like that, then you can respond saying, you know what, that's amazing. Thank you for sharing that. I did see that on your website, and that's also really important to me. I love being a part of a diverse team. So the fact that Sephora lives that Man, that's great to hear. And it's great to hear from you, someone who's actually working in a store. Right there, what you're doing is you're aligning yourself with that specific interviewer and the company because you're saying the thing that matters to you also matters to me. It is a great way to demonstrate that you are a culture fit, that you're in value alignment, and you share their commitments. Now, the next thing I want to talk about is you can do an ASQ. An ASQ is an alignment statement question. And essentially, when you reach the end of the interview and they say, hey, do you have any questions for me? You're going to ask them a question. But this specific question starts with an alignment statement. So you'd say something along the lines of, well, I was doing my research for this interview. I saw on your website that one of your commitments is community giving and engagement. And I found that to be incredibly inspiring because that's really important to me. Since you've been working here, have you gotten the chance to participate in any sort of community giving or event like that where you've got to live out that commitment? That does a few things, right? One, I did research. You're letting them know, hey, I prepared. There's not a hiring manager, HR person, or recruiter in the world who doesn't appreciate a candidate who prepares. Secondarily, you're talking about, I saw this commitment. So you're referencing that, and you're referencing how it was important to you, and then you're asking them about their ability to participate, contribute to that commitment. And this does a few things, right? It really does position you as a great candidate, but it gives them an opportunity to be like, yeah, actually, a month ago, our entire store went out and did, we went to a soup kitchen or something like that. And at which point you can go, wow, that's amazing. That is so inspiring. How often do you do things like that and demonstrate interest? And it's really going to help you form a connection with the person who's interviewing you. Also, giving them an opportunity to talk about something they are passionate about will make them perceive the interview as more positive. That just naturally happens when you give people the ability to talk about things that are important to them. The last few things have been about asking questions in the interview. And asking questions in the interview is incredibly important, which is why I made this video here. This video here is going to give you several additional questions you can ask at the end of the interview that elevate you as a candidate and increase the likelihood of you getting the job. If you liked this video and you found it helpful, take a few minutes and watch this one because I guarantee it's going to take you to the next level as a candidate. So I'm done here, but I will see you over there.